Welcome to lesson 2. Today's lesson is going to be a very short one, very straightforward, a very simple formula, and hopefully you find it easy as well. Let's get started. Okay, so let's derive the formula. I'll just show you how we get the formula in the first place. Okay, let's consider a random generic sum of a series. You have a random series, first term plus second term plus third term and so on and so forth till the last term. However, for the sake of keeping it simple, we're only going to focus on the first 6 terms. Okay, so some of the first 5 terms, those ones, right? And some of the first 6 terms, we just add in the 6th term. That's the main difference, right? They're exactly the same. T1, T2, T3, T4, T5. You also have T1, T2, T3, T4, T5 in the sum of the first 6 terms, which makes sense. Some of the first 6 terms will have the first 5 terms, obviously. And some of the first 5 terms obviously also has the first 5 terms. The difference is the 6th term. So if you were writing this, let's write this algebraically, and you will get sum of the first 6 terms is equal to sum of the first 5 terms plus the 6th term. Okay, we'll stop and think about that for a second. This is the crux of what we're learning today. This is basically the formula we're learning. Okay. This can apply to anything. Like if you had the sum of the first 50 terms, right, that will be equal to sum of the first 49 terms plus the 50th term. Okay, it could be anything really. Let's just rearrange that algebraically, and you'll get that the 6th term is equal to sum of the first 6 terms minus sum of the first 5 terms. So if we wanted to find out the 50th term, we could get the sum of the first 50 terms minus sum of the first 49 terms, and you will get the 50th term. Okay, so if we were to write this algebraically, or the general formula is the nth term of a series is the sum of the first n terms less or minus the sum of the first n minus 1 terms. The whole 50 terms minus, sum of the first 49 terms will give you the 50th term. Algebraically, nth term is equal to sum of the first n terms minus sum of the first n minus 1 terms. Okay, let's do some questions. Hopefully it'll make it a lot easier. The sum of the first n terms of a certain series is 75n minus 2n squared. Find the first term. Well, we can just sub in n is equal to 1 into that equation, and you should get 75 times 1, 75 minus 2, 73. 73 is the answer. Alright, now sum of the first 9 terms and sum of the first 10 terms, and therefore the 10th term. And this is where we use the formula we just learned, right? We sub in n is equal to 9 and n is equal to 10, and that will give us 550 and 513. Applying our formula, the 10th term is equal to sum of the first 10 terms minus sum of the first 9 terms. Subtract these two, 550 minus 513, you get 37. Alright, the next question is find the nth term in simplest form. The nth term. Now, exactly what we just did in B, part B. Now we're going to do it in part C, but we're going to treat it as a generic one, okay? So we're going to write down, remember that T of n is equal to S of n minus S of n minus 1, right? Now let's sub in that formula. Okay, so T of n is equal to, and we know S of n is equal to that told us sum of the first n terms, so 75 n minus 2n squared minus, remember there's a minus here, so we're going to do minus, and now we need to do, anytime we substitute in, we always use brackets. 75, instead of n, I want n minus 1, right? Minus 2, n minus 1 squared. And really, hopefully you've seen what I've done. I got that formula, and I substituted in n minus 1. N minus 1. Every time I saw n, I just substituted n minus 1. And I'm not sure why I wrote this out, but I've already got this on the PowerPoint slide. Substitute it in, and if we just simplify it, it's very easy. I don't think there's anything fancy there. You just expand this algebraically, simplify it, collect like terms, blah blah blah, and you'll get T of n is equal to 77 minus 44n. If you have trouble expanding this and simplifying it, please let me know on Slack. I'll be more than happy to show you, but I'm assuming that your algebra is good enough to, you know, do that. I mean, it's fairly easy in my opinion. Let's move on to the last one. The first value of n for which the nth term is less than 0. Okay, well, we've got T of n. It's very similar to what we did last lesson. We just let this equal to less than 0, and we solve for n. Okay, T of n is less than 0. 77 minus 4n is less than 0. Simplify that algebraically, you get n is more than 19 and a quarter, so n is equal to 20. The 20th term will be less than 0. And S of n is less than 0. We just let 75n minus 2n squared less than 0, and we solve it. Okay, and is more than 37 and a half, so n has to be 38. The 38th term will result in the sum of the first 38 terms will be negative. It'll be the first sum which will be negative. That's it for today. The homework will be up on the website and Slack as always. And if you did not understand anything, please do let me know. I'll be more than happy to make a video.